everyone, welcome to this class. I am Svenja, thanks for joining me. We're going to do some handstand rolls today. This class is perfect if you're just starting to get onto your hands, if you want to learn to handstand, to balance, become stronger on your shoulders and hands, but also it might be really great to revisit some techniques to improve your handstand. So, for this class, I am assuming you are warmed up already, especially you have warmed up your wrists. If you haven't done so, please look at my handstand prep and warm-up class, which is perfect to start with. It's 20 minutes, so you'll get nice and warm, and then you can start this class afterwards. Okay, so before we start into the drills, just one quick thing for your hand position and for your shoulder activation. So whenever we are on our hands, press down through your fingertips, through the knuckles, especially the index finger knuckle, and really push the floor away as much as you can. And when you lift the arms up, like this, try to really focus on keeping the ribs in, but not only keeping the ribs in, but also that you keep your core short. So imagine your core is everything between pelvis and like your neck. And instead, like, you could just lift your arms up like this and then lengthen here in this area. But what you want to do is try to keep it short and very active. So when you lift the arms up like this, your shoulder blades come up towards your ears and you push, like when you do this seated, imagine you push the ceiling away like this, but really try to keep this active. Okay, so let's start with the first roll. We get into a downward facing dog, and then come forward with the left foot, just half or 2/3 into a standing split. So in a standing split variation, our shoulders are exactly over the wrists, and the right leg is active, the right glute is active, the toes are pointing downward. And then push into your fingers, into your knuckles, push the floor away, but also have the feeling of pulling the hands towards your feet so that your shoulder blades are really tight to your rib cage and everything is active here. So in this pose, from here we come onto the ball of the left foot and downwards, and then what you can do is really push the floor away, shift backwards and forward, and just shift that weight onto your hands a little bit more. It's not about how high you come here, but really keep the arms strong and straight. So don't bend the elbows, but really push the floor away. It's more of a weight shift, and try to more push with the left metatarsal, so the big toe mound, rather than swinging that leg up. You know, this one, the right one, is straight and strong. And what you do is shifting on the hands by pushing through the left foot. Okay, let's switch legs. Right foot is down, left leg is back. The toes point down, the left glute is active. The fingers and hands push into the floor, and then come onto the ball of the foot, and maybe just do this here, and this is fine just to get used to it. Or if you want more, then shift the weight more onto the hands and push the floor away. Awesome. Okay, very good. It should be getting warmer now. Okay, for our next drill, you will need a wall or something similar, and it's good if you can set the mat just in front of it. We'll just measure the distance. So you just sit directly at the wall with the legs straight, and then you'll remember the point where your heels are on the mat, and you just put both your hands right there. The hands shoulder width apart. We're going to try an L-shaped handstand at the wall, so you don't have to jump up, but you get the feeling of holding this handstand, pushing the floor away. You can practice your straight line and alignment. Also, if this is the very first time, and if you feel scared, just ask someone to assist you and just to stand behind you, so to give you some more security in this pose. So we just put our hands down, and with one foot we go to the wall. You can just look at it so that you put the foot exactly on your on the height of your pelvis, and then you step there. You can take the other one right there. You can bend the knees, and then when you straighten it, you just straighten the other leg upwards. It's really important that you push the floor away so the shoulders get to your ears, and then that you shorten the distance between the neck and the pubic bone. Like, really keep the core strong, and very important, as if you push the heel towards the ceiling. So really a lot of length, a lot of strength. You can just change the legs here or go down and switch. You can also spend a little bit more time here and put the video on hold and just keep on practicing this. This is a very good drill to build strength and feel that alignment and get comfortable on your hands. Another variation of this, but a little bit harder actually, is a down dog at the wall. So you have both legs up there, your core strong. It's a bit harder because you don't have the straight line, but both legs at the wall. I'm going to show it to you. A good thing is if you measure distance again, and then you bring both hands down and climb up with both feet about at the height of the pelvis, and then what you need to do really is push into the hands and press against the wall, but then also keep the ribs in. Awesome. And then you can come down again. Very good. So if you want to build up strength and stamina, practice this a few seconds a day. You can start with 5 seconds, 10, and get up to a minute, and you'll get really, really strong in your shoulders. So if you've done these drills, it might be nice to give your wrists and forearms some love. So I'm going to show you one drill or exercise that I really love about this. You can put your hand down, make a fist with this hand, and then with one of the knees, just go onto your forearm and press down a little bit. It feels really, really nice. Do this for both forearms, or another one that I love, if you like this, Malasana. So you sit down into the yogi squat, you make fists with your hands, and make sure to really squeeze your forearms with your legs, so really sit down, and then what you can do is spread the fingers and make fists again. So this will be really hard if you really squeeze the forearms, but this is a very good drill to bring activity into your forearms. Might feel really nice. So let's get into the next drill. We're going to do some frog jumps, and again, it depends on how often you have practiced them already, but it is not important how high the hips go, but just that we practice and build up the strength. So in these frog jumps, I find them actually quite more accessible than a tuck jump, so that's why I recommend practicing them. You put both hands down and you jump with both feet. So actually, the important thing is here to trust your strength, keep the arms straight and push the floor away. And then when you do these, you can go forward on your mat. And what is important here is to imagine you want to pull your thighs to your upper body, like to your chest. So when you do this, you won't fall over, but really keep the core strong. And then you can go on and imagine that the pelvis is going more up, really over your shoulders. So just keep on practicing these. Walk on your mat. And this is, for me, this is really one of the essential drills, because you really need to Trust your strength and feel that you can hold this. So keep on practicing these whenever you feel like it. This is a very good exercise to strengthen your shoulders. Okay, for this last drill today, we're going to use the wall again. So if you already know how to safely fall out of a handstand, you can also practice this in the middle of the room. Otherwise, I recommend to use the wall. So some people don't recommend to use the wall and practice jumping up against it, but I think if you don't know how to fall out yet, it might be a good way to just approach it step by step. Though what is not a good idea is to jump up and then get into some kind of banana back so that you're not strong in your core. So, and this is why we use something like, you can use a sock or just some kind of strap or a small cushion or whatever you find. The idea is that we will squeeze it just below the thigh and the body. So we want to have the hip flexors strong, and this will help us engage the core and not get into a banana back. So take the prop and just bring it into the hip crease and bring the hands down. Just do not put the hand exactly at the wall because you will need some space for your head. You don't want to jump against the wall, but just go as far as you feel safe that the wall will catch you if you overshoot. It shouldn't happen with this drill, but you never know if you try it the first time. So press into your hands, press into your knuckles, and just as we did when we started in this standing splits, which we actually are in, you shift onto your hands, and it's a weight shift, and you push into your metatarsal of the left foot. So what you do is just press up, and what you try is keep the thigh next to your, just tightly, really tight to your abdominals, tight to your core. So you push up, and then you won't overshoot, right? The idea is not to lose that prop here, which is harder than you would think. And then what you can do is just try to balance here. But if it won't happen, it doesn't matter because it's just a matter of practice. So keep on doing this. Try to really do not lose the prop, which is more important than getting your foot there. So the optimal way would be not to touch the floor and not to touch the wall. But if it happens, then you know you have it here. So it might take away a little bit of your fear before you learn how to fall out of the handstand. So I hope you love these drills. Feel free to practice them again and again until you feel more stable on your shoulders. And after you've done, make sure you take a good shavasana, maybe do a few stretches for your shoulders. So if you like this class, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments if you would like the next class to be a technique class about how to fall out safely out of a handstand, or if you would love a drills class about how to improve your straight line in a handstand. So we'd love to see you next time again. Namaste.